Welcome to Cooking with Andrea. Today we're going to be making chicken fried steak. I'm excited. I love chicken fried steak, but like I told you guys again, I like to eat, so I'm always excited when I'm in the kitchen cooking. Just to let you know, chicken fried steak can be made with chicken, but we're going to do ours with pork today. And we're going to do a little bit of mash or rustic mashed potato. We're going to do some asparagus with some just smashed garlic, some butter, some lemon zest, and some parmesan. And we're going to go ahead and get everything out. I'm going to start peeling potatoes, get them cut, and then we'll be right back. Welcome back. Let's get started. I took 4 potatoes and I chopped them medium chop. I'm going to boil them. The reason I picked 4 potatoes is because 4 of us are going to eat. So what I'm trying to do is make sure that I don't overfeed us. So what I'm doing is taking 4, I'll do a rustic chop, and we'll be good to go there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and show you my asparagus. I'm only going to make one of these so I can show you so it doesn't take too long. But this recipe is for 4 to 6 steaks, however many you would like. I have lots more asparagus, but I just wanted to let you know I have 4 pieces in. I have 1 tab of butter, or 1 tablespoon of butter. And then I took about 3 cloves of garlic and just did a rough crush. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my zester and I'm just going to do a little bit, just a little bit of zest. Not too much. But, you know, I like that lemon zest with the vegetables. I'm not a real big vegetable eater unless I grow the vegetable. Then I'll eat the vegetable all day long. Isn't that funny? I'm teaching myself how to eat more vegetables by me growing them. But there is a big difference, I'm sorry, in taste when you grow your own vegetable. I'm not sorry. I mean, it's a good thing. So I encourage people to grow some vegetables if you have the room and the time. Something that me and my family enjoy doing. So I encourage you guys to do it as well. And then it's a little bit healthier. I'm going to take some Parmesan cheese and just sprinkle it over. Give it a nice little dusting. I'm going to put my asparagus in the oven for 15 minutes. So basically real easy. 1 teaspoon butter. I'll give you all the directions, but this is an easy one. Oh, I am going to zest, and I am going to put just a little bit on top. Not too much. Here we go. Just a squeeze. I'm going to put it in the oven. My oven is on 350. I'm going to do it for 15 minutes. And then I'm going to check it. So I'm going to put my timer on. So we're good there. So I'm going to move my garlic and my lemon. But I just wanted you to see it. And then, most amazing thing is, wait until you find out the price on my meat this week. Price on my meat was fantastic. $4.20, and we have a pork sirloin chop boneless. This beautiful thing is going to make up to 6 chicken fried steaks. It would even make more if you wanted it to and you didn't need them that big. But I've got some good healthy eaters in my house, so it'll make 6 for our family. I'm excited to get that started. But I have our potatoes on, trying to get ready to boil. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-make our gravy so that I don't have to worry about so much. Everything will be done and sitting. Not only that, I like when gravy gets to sit for a minute. When gravy gets to sit, it tastes better. I'm going to turn my heat on to medium. I have 2 cups of water. Excuse me. And I'm going to make it 2 cups of milk because I want my gravy to be a little bit more luscious. You can use all milk if you like, or you can do like I do, half and half. It's got a good rich content to it. A lot of times actually I make my own gravies. I'm kind of into making my own gravies, but some days I don't have time to make gravy. So I just go to my McCormick packages. I love my McCormick gravy. I'm not going to tell a lie because there was a point in time in my life where I could not make gravy. I did not know how. Did not have the time. I'd rather make fresh food than, oh, my gravy's fresh. You know, and sometimes I can't make enough gravy for all of us because we are gravy people. So I learned, and I've been perfecting it over the last, I would say about 6 years now, so I'm doing much better. So I've got my heat on medium, and I'm just going to mix in my gravy slowly. And once it's mixed in, everything's incorporated, we'll just let it come up to a boil, and we'll just keep whisking. But I just wanted it to get started because this is something, soon as you get it heated, you could put it to the side, and then you could just warm it back up, and then everything will be so nice and fresh for your chicken fried steak. So I'm just entering this package in. I will put a video on me making fresh country gravy, but this is good. And you can use any gravy. I just happen to use this one because I don't eat as much gravy as I used to eat. So when I do eat gravy, I trust this gravy. I'm good at this gravy, but I've had every pack from name brand to not. It really is how much love you put in your cooking, is what I always say. You'll make your meals taste great. But this is my go-to. When mine is not fresh, I use my good old McCormick. But I'm bad. I use McCormick for everything. I like McCormick spaghetti sauce. Every once in a while, I make my own spaghetti sauce from scratch. But most of the time, I just use my McCormick packets because I would rather make the pasta from scratch than I would the spaghetti sauce. Spaghetti sauce it's not hard, but you know, like when we grow our own Roma tomatoes and things like that in our yard, at that point in time, it's fun to make. Just like tomato bisque soup is good to make. But just going to the store and getting the tomatoes, it's better for me to get a, imported Italian can of tomatoes and then go from there. But I just go to my McCormick's spaghetti sauce, and I'm a happy camper. So we're going to go ahead and let that sit there. I'm going to put my milk away, get my counter cleaned off. Remember, I've got my asparagus timing. We'll check it in 15 minutes. We got our potatoes on, and we got our gravy on. This is a good country peppered gravy. I don't even think I have to add more pepper to this until we actually sit down to eat it. Okay, so pretty much everything I'm making is for 4. The only thing I'm not going to make right here is for 4 is the chicken fried steak. I'll wait until later to make it because I'm going to actually pound out one of these and then we'll go from there. Probably we'll make maybe up to 4 with those depending on how fat we want them, how big we want them. But this is a good recipe, easy recipe, I guarantee, and your family will love it. I'm going to take 2 eggs off the bat, and I'm just going to go ahead, put them in, get my dirty towel. I've got my dirty towel here. This is my cleaner towel that I use for my hands, because boy, I sure am messy, but I sure do love to cook. Let's get my hands clean, because I got egg. Okay, so let me get my clean towel. And then what we'll do is we'll get this mixed. Okay, I'm just going to beat these yellows, make them beautiful yellow. Okay, egg is beat. I'm going to start out with a cup of my good chicken fried steak breading. You know, guys, this is my Louisiana. Like I always tell you, I have fresh scratch for my fried chicken and chicken strips sometimes. But sometimes I like to just use my Louisiana. It has the right amount of spice. It's kind of good. And the reason I do it this way, just a cupful, is then I don't have to waste it. If I can always come back and get another cup. But if I put 2 or 3 cups down there and I only end up using 1 cup, then it makes us waste it. By the way, I found these, the Louisiana packets on sale at my local store that I shop at this week for $1.57, which was very good. Lately, groceries have been very expensive, and it's been a whole lot more. So this is my dredge. Use Louisiana style. I encourage you to do it until you make your own dread, and then you know, your own breading, and then, you know, like I have my own fried chicken, but I like this one. I love the flavor. So remember, I got this meat, all this meat for $4.20. Wow, beautiful. So it's a nice piece of pork. I'm going to put this right over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start pounding this out. By the way, too, my pan, I just put enough oil to cover the bottom. And so we're good there. Just wanted to let you know so I don't forget anything. So here comes the aggression. Moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, anybody who's in the kitchen cooking. Tell the kids, hey, you want to get your aggression out? Come over here and help me in the kitchen. This is the fun part. You get to beat up your steak. And what we're doing is we're tenderizing it, basically. And we're pounding it down because you don't want your chicken fried steak too fat. Basically, you want it kind of thin. And I'm going to tell you a secret. I used to use beef, but this is 10 times more tender than my beef. But if you have to use beef, use beef. Just do what I'm doing and get it all pounded out. And you have to go in the middle. Have to get the sides too. And this is going to be a delicious dish. And boy, really inexpensive. You already have the potatoes already. And it's, you know, I get my big bag of potatoes for less than $3. And I would say gravy, breading, and things like that cost a little bit of money. But you know what? It's not bad, and it feeds a lot. I encourage you to try this recipe. It's a good one. And, you know, I used to be a very bland eater as far as, like, not too many seasonings. Now I'm so much more into seasoning and things like this. You could take and feed this to the most bland person, to the most spiciest person. And because you can make it so many different ways. Like this adds just a little bit of spice. If not, this is a little bit of pepper spice. Not bad at all. But if you wanted to, you could just do a straight flour. So if you didn't want that spice, you could just do a straight flour. Okay. So, you see this piece of meat? This will feed 2 people easy. That would be on a food challenge, you know. Hey, eat this 1 pound of pork. That's what it looks like. Okay. But this thing is tenderized. It's ready to go. So what I'm going to do is come over here and I am going to show you. This piece of meat looked like that. Look at the difference in size. That's why we have another piece. You can you could make 6 of these and it would be a really good price for $4.20. So if you're watching your food bill, please come and take a look at this. This would be good for your wallet, your purse. It would be perfect. So I'm going to wash my hands. Just going to give a little rinse. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to cut this in half. I don't need all this for one person to eat. So look at that. That's a lot thinner, but it's got some body. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go in and egg dredge. And then we're going to go ahead and put it in the flour. And then I'm going to be back in a few minutes after that. As soon as my gravy is real warm and my potatoes are done, then we're going to fry our chicken fried steak. But right now I just want to get it all dreaded for you, seasoned and put together for you. Remember, this is a good seasoning. This Louisiana. And this is easy to do. If I were not talking, I'd be done with this like within 5-10 minutes tops. But I want you to see it. So you could go in and have a nice dinner. This is a good Sunday meal, you know, or a good weekend meal, a good during the week meal. It's actually kind of fast too. Like I said, if I were not talking, boy, you could bread this thing so fast. And then, you know, come home from work. If you have everything in the fridge, you'd be fine. Look at lots of breading on this. It's going to come out delicious. You're going to be very pleased. And it is, like I said, very inexpensive for you to make this. And it's going to taste fantastic. Just shake off all the seasoning. Let's go ahead and put that right in there. Seasoning went in my face. I'm going to have seasoning all over me too, but it just popped in my face. But I'm going to have it all over me. And you know me, I always wear black so you can see everything on me. Okay, so we got our egg soaking. And with the 2 eggs, because like I said, I'm actually going to make 4 of these. So what I'll end up doing is saving 1 piece and putting it in my freezer. I have my beautiful little food saver that I use. Oops. I'm going to stir my gravy and get it all mixed up. It's starting to come up to boil. So we're going to go ahead and stir, stir, stir. And then that's when, about a minute more, I'll be able to put it to the side and it will thicken. And then when we come back and after we're done frying, or when I start frying, I'll put this back on the heat and it'll warm up really well. But look at, no lumps. Okay, I'm going to turn. I'm going to have to use my good towel now. I'm going to turn my heat down since my other one is on the floor. I'm going to turn it down because I had it on a real high boil. Now I put it to a medium boil. And we got 1 minute and 26 seconds. And then we can check our asparagus to see if it's done. If it's done, we're going to pull it. And what we'll do is just put it back in our oven. But I wanted you to see how it looks. And see how easy that was. So while you're here doing the breading, you already have your potatoes cut. And you're good to go. And you know, you can cut your potatoes a day before and just keep them in water. Let all that starch soak off. Especially if you're using a russet. Russet has way more starch. But boy, russets are good potatoes, let me tell you. Any potato's a good potato, in my opinion. I love potatoes. Doctor says I have to stay away from them because that's my triglyceride thing. So he already knows when I'm slacking. He'll be like, triglycerides are a little bit different this 6 months or this year when I go take my blood work. And I'm like, don't be picking on me, Doc. I'm trying. That thing, exercise, I'm learning how to do the exercise. But, you know, sometimes I have to compensate because I'm not really there yet. I'm not a good exerciser. I'm working on it, though. Okay, so here's our 2 chicken fried steaks. That looks beautiful. So we are pretty much ready to fry. As soon as my potatoes come up to par, okay, gravy looks fantastic. Now, I'm going to pull this gravy off because you see how it looks. It's got a nice body. So now it'll sit there and continue to heat. I'm going to pull it, though, and put it over here. Then we'll come back to it. Potatoes are doing good. Turn them down. They're a little bit hot. Remember, 1 potato per person. That's how I kind of do it now so that I don't overeat my potatoes. Let me check my asparagus. Looking fantastic. We're going to turn it. I think it's going to need just a minute more. But we're going to try it. Boy, I sure know how to make a mess. It's a good thing I know how to. I don't mind cleaning my mess. Oh, garlic is smelling good. Remember, the garlic's on the bottom just to infuse the butter. Does not have to do anything else. You do not have to serve it at the end of the cooking time. Just leave it in there and let it cook. Okay, so my asparagus is going to need about 15 minutes more. So I always put mine on for 15 minutes. Keep checking it because it's one of those things where it can overcook. And then I don't think it tastes good cooked. So because we have it at 350, I think mine's going to take about 30 minutes. So I'm going to time mine for another 15. Smells delicious. Wish you had smell vision because, boy, this is looking fantastic. So we're going to go ahead and time for another 15 minutes. And then, keep the timer, 15. And then what we're going to do is let our potatoes boil. And we're going to keep our chicken fried steak here, and then what we'll do is we'll come back and we'll start assembling everything. So we're just going to let this boil for a minute and we'll be good to go. Okay, we're boiling, boiling, boiling. It's going to need about 15 more minutes for the potatoes as well. But as soon as the potatoes are done boiling, we'll be back. Welcome back. Okay, gravy is done. I just put it back on to heat. Like I told you, it would get thicker. It got thicker. It took me 30 minutes for the asparagus. The asparagus looks beautiful. I'm just tossing it in the butter garlic sauce right here with parmesan. Tastes delicious already. I already tried a bite. Have my oil on. Just a minute more. I took 2 tablespoons of butter. That's it. We're going to do a rustic mash chop on our potato. We're doing a rustic mash today, so we're just going to take out the good old-fashioned smasher. And like I said, just a little bit of butter, just to smash it. No milk, no nothing, no heavy cream. I just want it like that because we have all this luscious, thick gravy here. So we don't need to add anything to it, another calorie or anything like that is how I feel. And as soon as my oil's up to heat, up to par, we're going to go ahead and do our chicken fried steak. Chicken fried steak will not take long at all to cook. Probably about 3-4 minutes on each side. Pork is thin and it cooks fast, so we'll be good. All I'm going to add to my mashed potatoes now is a little bit of salt and some pepper. That's it. Like I said, I have a little bit of butter in there already. We don't need any more. We're good. It has a lot of flavor already with just the potato itself in general and a little bit of butter. That's a lot of flavor in my opinion, because potatoes are beautiful. So we got our salt and pepper, and then what I'm going to do is take my butter fork and just toss it a little bit so everything just gets right in. The pepper, the salt, the last bit of butter. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put our chicken fried steak in. I'm going to put it right in right now. Alrighty, got it nice. And these chicken fried steak pieces are so big, I'm going to have to fry one at a time. I was just going to do one so I could show you because I knew I'd be here all day frying, and you want to eat this food if you're going to make this food, or go on to another video and enjoy another video so you get ideas for during the week. You know, sometimes I get so tired of cooking the same thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to make this week for my family? Because I cook a lot. And I'm like, okay, let's figure it out. So I'll go in and look at recipes just to get an idea, or I'll go get one of my books and I'll just sit there and I'll kind of thumb through and take a look. It's so cool. My mom gave me this 350 or 450 old box of recipe cards. I mean, this thing is from the 1950s. Super cool. So I go through there and I'm always looking to see what I can see, and just do it that way, because there's so many recipes out there. But sometimes I get confused going online, and just trying to look at everything. Okay, this is looking fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and give a flip. We got some brown on that side. Oh my gosh. This is looking gorgeous. This is why I tell you guys I like the Louisiana style, because it'll give you a nice crunch. And then once that batter heats up, pushing the pan the wrong way for you guys to see, then you'll see all the seasonings come out of it as soon as it starts to get all crisped up, which is beautiful. Okay, I'm going to turn my gravy just a little bit higher because I'm going to serve. My potatoes just came out right now, so my potatoes are nice and hot, which is great. So, asparagus did take 30 minutes at 350 in my oven. with the garlic, the butter, the lemon zest, and just a little squeeze of lemon, which, like I said, I'll put all the directions in the direction box for you. So it came out perfect. You're going to love this. Try it. I don't like vegetables too much. I'm learning how to eat vegetables. I started with growing my own. When I can't grow my own, then I have to go to the store and buy them. I'm excited. Grow time is starting for us. We have greenhouses, so we'll be starting, and it'll be delicious. Okay, look at that. Beautiful. We're just going to keep it down there for just a minute more, and then what we'll do is take it out, get it on our plate, and we'll get it served up so you can see how it looks. It's going to taste amazing. I make this recipe all the time. It is that fast, that easy. You're going to love it. And like I said, chicken fried steak, because it's a pork steak, it doesn't take long to cook at all. I'm going to turn my heat down just a little bit because I got some smoking going on here. Means my oil is very hot, which is okay. I want it to be very hot. I'm going to flip my chicken fried steak over one more time and get a lot of browning on this side so you guys see it. But it looks gorgeous. You're going to enjoy it. And like I said, economically, it's great. 2 packets of gravy or your own fresh gravy. I have a friend, she can make gravy like no tomorrow. She just pops that gravy out. Man, I had to beg her for years to show me how to make gravy. I could not make gravy to save my life, I swear. Okay, look at that beautiful chicken fried steak. I'm going to let it hang out over here real fast on a paper plate so there is no grease involved. And I used the canola oil. I don't take my label off my oil so I don't show anybody. Mine literally comes off because I kind of use the same bottle for probably about a year because I buy bigger. I buy a lot of oil because I have fryers too. And not only that, I have a commercial kitchen as well. So, you know, you have to kind of do those things, you know, when you have those. And so I can cook for large amounts, and it's cheaper. Now, if you buy small, it's so expensive. So I buy a little bit larger, so I always have it on hand, and we're good to go. So I'm going to put this one in, like I said, 3 to 4 minutes on each side. That chicken fried steak's totally done. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up our beautiful plate, and then, but I wanted to cut my chicken fried steak real fast so you could see how it looks inside. It's going to be perfectly cooked, sorry about that, perfectly cooked. Look at, perfect. Perfectly cooked. Absolutely delicious. And I'm just trimming mine up just a little bit so it won't sit on my plate all funkified weird. Yes, perfect. It's all perfectly done inside. Let's give it a little taste real fast here. Perfect. It's tender. Fantastic. Okay. We are going to go ahead and plate this beautifully. And like I said, I have another one in here. Looking fantastic. Let's get our gravy stirring it up. We're going to put some potato on here. Remember, 1 potato per person. And then we're going to put the gravy on here so we can show you how this looks. And it's going to be beautiful. And our asparagus. Okay, let me flip this chicken fried steak because we're about to be done. Oh, looks fantastic. Okay, so what we're going to do is get our gravy drizzled over. And let me get our asparagus on here while this is cooking. And let me get our gravy. And I trimmed this piece of chicken fried steak down. Technically, it should have another piece like that right there. And we are good to go. But I want to drizzle this nice hot gravy over everything. Not too much. You can always go back for more. That's what I always say. And I always put a little hole in the mashed potato so that I could just fill it up. And then I just take it and I just put the gravy on like this. If you want more gravy, put more gravy on. My husband loves his totally submerged. But I'm going to do it just like that. Let me move everything. Get my gravy off. Oh, our other piece of chicken fried steak is just cooking amazing. Okay, this is what our plate looks like. Like I said, relatively inexpensive, easy to cook. I just want you to enjoy this. If you like this chicken pork fried steak, I would like you to like and subscribe, and I'd be very grateful if you did that. So please enjoy, and we'll be back another day to cook another meal.